Brian Wilson, Fast Domino, of course, inspired me because he can make 3 chords sound so good, you know, instead of like plonk, plonk, plonk. He did it in a nice picturesque way, as to bring out the beauty of just 3 chords, like almost like a blues singer, but at the same time an R&B singer. It's like a fever. You catch the fever, and it's like a gospel experience, you know. And you go into a church with black people, you know, and they whip up this choir and stuff, feeling, you know, and people in the audience are right with it, you know, and it's just gospel, you know what I mean?
Actually, the first time the Beach Boys got together as a band to rehearse, my folks went to Mexico City on business. You know, the police came, a lot of people showed up. It was really, I don't remember how they knew to come, but there were a lot of people.
Brian Wilson was in a situation that was very commercial. He was being asked to perpetuate that commerciality, and did for quite a while.
Well, I got a phone call from Brian. He was extremely depressed about the prospects of having to go out on the road.
Brian's quitting the road was very traumatic. And he was really getting into difficulty in those days.
In truth, there was too much pressure on him. He couldn't be writing and arranging and producing and then going out on the road with this stuff because there was just too much to do.
When he said, "I'm not going to tour anymore," and he went in and started making much more elaborate, sophisticated music, he came to the conclusion that there were other things to look into that had more to do with personal musical growth.
It was 1965, and we would go into his little room there. It actually was a housekeeper's room that had been converted to a playback room. I was so taken with "I Want to Hold Your Hand" that I stayed up all night because I didn't have a copy of it and I wanted to hear it. They played it once an hour, I think.
When we saw what happened with the Beatles, we got together and had a meeting and said, look, now what are we going to do here? We're getting eclipsed by a group called the Beatles from London. Oh my God! After we were completely jealous as hell. I guess I'm going to turn our motors on, try to get something happening where we would be better musically than the Beatles.
It was very humbling, you know, because we had been on top there, you know, for that year or so before.
So we went in the studio, tried to get something happening where we would be better musically than the Beatles. We realized that they had something like, "I want to hold your hand." They had more electricity than we had, you know? But we wanted to do something that had more musical merit than the Beatles. So we made Pet Sounds, which was Paul McCartney's favorite album.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you'll never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without.
I wrote that for Carl. It took me 20 minutes. Nobody believes the story, you know. But I mean, just to get like... You know, that chord pattern. It took me 20 minutes to get that whole chord pattern. It took about 2 hours to get the lyrics, but 20 minutes.
You know, it's just a very incredible piece of music. It's so brilliantly put together, and I got to sing it.
When we made Pet Sounds, we made it based on prayer sessions. Carl and I would pray for people. We'd get together at my house in Beverly Hills, and we'd sit at this big round table, you know, and we turn the dimmer switch way down low to where we could almost not see each other, you know, and sometimes he'd lead the prayer session, and sometimes I'd lead the prayer session, and you know, but we always prayed. We prayed that the Lord help us make a spiritual album for people. Well, sure enough, the Lord did.
We knew that Pet Sounds was a very special record. And to us, it was more than a record. It was a new place It was, popular music coming to a new level. And it was magnificent. To hear Sloop John B. come out of the speakers with that brilliant arrangement, there was just something so thrilling about it.
Someone hold my nose. Yeah. Hold my nose. Just do it for me as this says a joke.
That's so silly.
All right, squeeze.
You guys.
Please come, girls are here. That's how it used to sound. Then, of course, he's not going to like that very much.